Hello students, welcome to Dr. Deepa Dhake's NEET Biology, and in today's session we are discuss about the structure of prokaryotic cell from class 11th unit cell, and the chapter is cell the unit of life. Last session already आप continue हैं, तो आपको क्लियर है कि in last session we discuss about the differences between prokaryote and eukaryote cell. And now for this session we mainly discuss about the structure of prokaryotic cell. And when we study the prokaryotic cell structure, that means predominantly you remember we discuss about the structure of bacterial cell. बैक्टीरिया में भी आप याद रखिए टू टाइप्स ऑफ बैक्टीरिया आपने स्टडी किए हैं, आर्की बैक्टीरिया एंड यू बैक्टीरिया. सो हियर वी predominantly study about the structure of eubacteria. So simply you remember when we study the structure of prokaryotic cell. Now all the students clear about that what is prokaryote. So don't be confused between the prokaryote and eukaryote cell. Okay, so prokaryote cell structure हम study कर रहे हैं. When we study about the structure, so here you remember one example here we study, that is bacteria. And for bacteria, because mycoplasma also comes under the prokaryotes. Now when we begin, so what the structures we study under the cell structure or electron microscope structure. So first you remember we study about envelope. Envelope means the protective covering, and in prokaryote envelope is made up of three layers. The outermost layer of the envelope is called as glycocalyx. One by one we study all these in detail. The second part of the envelope or second layer of the envelope is cell wall, and the innermost layer of the envelope is called as plasma membrane or cell membrane. So these structure we study, and in addition to that, from plasma membrane the special structures are developed as a infoldings of plasma membrane that called as mesosome. So we also study about the mesosomes. The second structure in prokaryotic cell when we observe, so the second structure we study about protoplasm. So inside protoplasm we actually study what are the important features of the protoplasm and what are the structures or the organelles and the nucleus are present. So here when we study about protoplasm, so first we study about incipient nucleus, primary nucleus or nucleoid. So nucleoid we study, or nucleoid also called as genophore. So that part you remember. After nucleoid or genophore, we study about the second structure or cell organelle, one and only cell organelle as we discussed earlier. The one and only cell organelle is present in prokaryote, that is ribosome. So we discuss about ribosome, that what type of ribosome and what are the states of ribosome, ki whether it is present freely or it is present in integrated state. After that, one of the most important structure we study in protoplasm, this structure is called as plasmid. So students stay connected with the video up to the end, because the plasmids are more important in bacteria, and some of the chapter of class 12th syllabus, 2 or 3 chapters are totally concerned with this plasmid topic. And if you clear about the plasmid in class 11, then only those chapter of class 12th clear to you. So this plasmid you remember, and then after here we study structural component, or sometime some special inclusions like food granules, Synophysian granules. So inclusions we study. After that you remember in protoplasm, after protoplasm the next structure we study, that the extra outgrowth responsible for the locomotion. So what are the structures which are present at the external surface? So here we study next about flagella, fimbriae and pili. So first you keep in mind what are the structures we have to study in prokaryote, or what structures we predominantly observe under electron microscope when we study about the prokaryotic cell or bacterial cell. So first I draw the diagram, and along with that diagram only we study this structure of the prokaryote. So when you study about the structure of prokaryotic cell, so here you remember outermost covering, generally you remember the cell wall. आप कहते हैं कि cell wall is the outermost covering of the cell in plant, fungi as well as in Monera or bacteria. You remember outer to cell wall one another layer is present. This layer you remember is called as glycocalyx. Now here you remember the glycocalyx is present in two forms. So this is the outermost layer. Red color I use to differentiate only. So this layer you remember, this layer is called as glycocalyx. Glycocalyx you remember, the glycocalyx is mainly made up of each and everything, because the quite long chapter, long topic is this. So it is quite impossible to write each and everything. So in short only I mentioned here. Glycocalyx you remember, glycocalyx is predominantly made up of mucilage. आपको लिखा हुआ मिलता है बुक में. So mucilage means you remember the glycocalyx is made up of some polysaccharides, unknown polysaccharides or mucopolysaccharides. Composition wise you remember. Along with that some of the peptides are also, or polypeptides आप कह रहे हैं. So mucopolysaccharide and peptides are responsible for the formation of glycocalyx. Now this glycocalyx you remember is present in two forms. Either the glycocalyx when these polysaccharide and peptides are tightly bound with each other, then you remember the glycocalyx simply called as, or the glycocalyx is arranged in the form of capsule. Whereas when we study about the glycocalyx, and if the polysaccharide and peptides are loosely arranged, then it glycocalyx you remember present in the form of mucilage sheath, or simply we refer as sheath. So simply you remember glycocalyx either present in the form of capsule or in the form of sheath. When we appear the capsule, so capsule you predominantly remember, capsule predominantly present in pathogenic bacteria. So where it is present, so that you remember the disease causing bacteria or pathogenic bacteria show the presence of glycocalyx in the form of capsule, because the main function of capsule to protect the cell wall of bacteria from the antibiotics as well as from WBC. So this part you remember. Now we come towards the second important structure of the envelope. So second layer of envelope is called as cell wall. Now cell wall of bacteria अगर आप study कर रहे हैं, और cell wall of prokaryotic cell when we study. So this cell wall you remember, the cell wall of bacterial cell is mainly made up of peptidoglycan. This term you remember, the cell wall of bacteria or prokaryote is made up of peptidoglycan. Now what is peptidoglycan? Peptidoglycan you remember, it is a polymer of NAG and the polymer of NAM. So repeating units of NAG and NAM are present and combinedly form the peptidoglycan. NAG you remember, it is N-acetyl glucosamine, and NAM is N-acetyl muramic acid. So these are the forms, short forms generally we use. So the peptidoglycan, you remember, is a main component of cell wall made up of NAG and NAM, and repeating unit of NAG NAM binds with the peptide and then result in the formation of the cell wall. Inner to cell wall, the third layer of the envelope is present. So for objective purpose, you remember, for objective purpose, one of the most important question that what is the arrangement of layers in envelope from outer to inner. So outer to inner, outermost glycocalyx, middle one cell wall, and then the innermost layer is present is plasma membrane, or it is called as cell membrane. So inner to cell wall, as a rule आप हमेशा याद रखिए, if cell wall is present, then plasma membrane always present inner to cell wall. And as usually plasma membrane chemically similar in all the cell. So plasma membrane, here you remember, here also it is made up of lipoprotein. That means it is consist of lipid and protein. So in next chapters we study, in next sessions we study about the structure of plasma membrane. Then it is clear ki why the membranes are lipoproteinaceous in nature. Now these three parts you remember for the envelope. When we study about plasma membrane, so at certain places the plasma membrane show the finger-like infoldings. These finger-like infoldings of the plasma membrane are of two types, and mainly you remember these finger-like infoldings are called as mesosomes. So again you remember what is mesosome. Mesosome is a infoldings. Infolding means the finger-like projections, and these structures are projected towards the cytoplasm. Now mesosome you remember are of two types. Either if you go through the reference book to septal and lateral mesosomes, or simply according to their position, you remember the mesosomes are peripheral. That means they are only present in the periphery. So they are called as peripheral mesosome, as well as the lateral mesosomes, or they are called as central mesosome. Central mesosome means that due to the higher length, they reaches nearly up to the nucleoid or in the center of the cell protoplasm. So this part you remember. Now what is the function of mesosome? So mesosome function you remember, the central mesosome predominantly plays significant role in fission, whereas peripheral mesosome, this statement you remember, the mesosome mainly peripheral के लिए है. Mesosomes are commonly called as prokaryotic mitochondria because the respiratory enzymes you remember, for aerobic respiration हम study करते हैं, a variety of or huge series of enzymes are required. All those enzymes are present inside the plasma membrane, particularly in peripheral mesosome. So mesosomes are called prokaryotic mitochondria because the true mitochondria absent in prokaryote, as well as these mesosomes are associated with aerobic respiration. So this part you remember for the structure of the prokaryotic cell, that how plasma membrane play an important role in respiration. So here you remember the plasma membrane of prokaryote develop peripheral mesosome which show the presence of respiratory enzymes, and these respiratory enzymes are responsible for aerobic respiration. So this much you remember for the mesosome. Now we come towards our second topic or second point of the structure of the prokaryotic cell, that we discuss about the protoplasm. When we study about protoplasm, so inside the plasma membrane, heterogeneous structure, but it is evenly distributed present, that is protoplasm. It is not differentiated into cytoplasm as well as nucleoplasm. Inside the protoplasm you remember the single DNA or a single chromosome is present, and this DNA you remember double stranded DNA, but it is a single circular DNA. So this freely present single circular DNA is called as nucleoid, or it is called as primary nucleus, incipient nucleus or genophore. So nucleoid, you remember, primary or incipient nucleus made up of double-stranded DNA, and it is a single DNA. That means other than no chromosomes are present. So this part you remember, and as usual, nucleoid is responsible for the transfer of character from one generation to another generation or from one cell to another cell. Now, in addition to nucleus, some another structures are present. That most important structure, we say, the most important structure is present, that is called as plasmid. So here I draw one circular chromosome. This circular chromosome is called as plasmid. So this part you remember, and separately we study plasmid, one of the most important structure present in protoplasm. Now when we study about plasmid, so what is plasmid? This is one of the most common question. Plasmid, you remember, the extra chromosomal part of the prokaryotic cell or bacterial cell. Plasmid, you remember, plasmids only present in bacteria. None another cell show the presence of plasmid. They are only present in bacteria. So whenever question is present or question asking regarding plasmid, that means you remember the question is related with the bacteria. Now again you remember, plasmid means in addition to its own bacterial chromosome, when extra chromosome as well as mostly circular chromosome, when extra chromosome is present, then that extra chromosome of the cell of prokaryote or bacteria is said to be plasmid. So plasmid, you remember, in simply plasmid is extra chromosomal part or DNA of bacterial cell. When you study the detailed part of plasmid, so you remember the plasmids are of three types. First, the plasmid which is responsible for fertility or sexual reproduction in bacteria is called as F plasmid. The plasmid, second plasmid is called R plasmid. The plasmid which responsible or associate with antibiotic production and provide a resistance to bacteria against particular antibiotic, that is called as R plasmid. And third, you remember, the third is Cole plasmid, which the plasmid which secrete the colicin toxins. So those plasmids are called as Cole plasmids. So these, according to their function, plasmids mainly of three types. Most commonly in bacteria, F plasmid plays significant role in sexual reproduction. At industrial purpose in biotechnology, we predominantly use the R plasmids for the production of different kinds of antibiotic. So this part you remember. Now when we study about the conditions of the plasmid, so plasmid word हम use करते हैं when this extra chromosome is freely present. So when the extra chromosomal DNA is not associated with nucleoid or it is freely present from the nucleoid, then we use the term plasmid. But if the plasmid, you remember, suppose this is the bacterial cell and this is the nuclear DNA or nucleoid, you remember. Okay, but when the plasmid is associated with this nuclear DNA, 1 minute. When the plasmid is associated with the nucleoid or nuclear DNA, in that case you remember the plasmid, instead of plasmid we use the term that is called as episome. So one thing you remember very well, the extra chromosome in bacteria, when freely present, then it is called as plasmid. But when this extra chromosome is associated with the bacterial chromosome or nucleoid DNA, then we use the term episome. Episome are more powerful as compared to the plasmid. So this you remember for the structure of the plasmid. Now we come towards the next structure, which present in bacteria, that under protoplasm we study, that is the ribosome. So here, as you all know, the ribosomes are mainly responsible for protein synthesis, and in bacteria ribosomes are freely present and distributed in bacteria, as well as sometime the 70S ribosome. One thing you remember, the 70S ribosome is present in bacteria, and this ribosomes, a number of 70S ribosomes are present on the string of messenger RNA. Then the structure is formed. That structure is called as polysome or polyribosome. Again, the important question for your NEET exam. The polysomes are the characteristic feature. Name of the cell is provided, and one option is only regarding the bacteria. So that was the option Escherichia commonly. One option is there. Second आता है आपका polysomes are consist of. So polysome, you remember, polysome consists of 70S ribosome and mRNA. Third question regarding polysome आया हुआ है. What kind of ribosomes are participate in polysome? So here you remember the 70S ribosomes play significant role in the formation of polysome. So this condition you remember, the integrated state of ribosome with messenger RNA will result in the formation of polysome. Now अब हम यहाँ पर आते हैं. Next, what are the structures which are developed from plasma membrane or cell wall and responsible for the different functions? So one of the most important function structure you remember here, it is the main structure is called as flagella. Flagella you remember responsible for locomotion. So this structure, long hair-like structure or filamentous structure in bacteria responsible for locomotion called flagella. A number of types of bacteria are there according to distribution of flagella. Now, when we study about the flagella, so important thing you remember, in bacteria or in prokaryote, flagella is made up of flagellin protein. So they are made up of flagellin protein. That is the main difference from the eukaryotic flagella, as well as this flagella is made up of three parts. This is A, this is B, and this is C. The three part of the flagella you remember, the first A part which is attached in plasma membrane, it is called as basal body. Basal body followed by the second part B, that is called as hook. Hook is present in cell wall as well as in glycocalyx, and the third part C you remember is called as filament. If you go through the last year question papers for NEET, so one question in within 3 year question papers, you find one question that the longest part of the bacterium flagellum is. So longest part you remember, the longest part of the flagella in bacteria or prokaryote is filament, and mainly you remember the filament is made up of flagellin protein, and what flagella is responsible mainly for the locomotion. In addition to flagella, here you remember the small tubular filamentous structures are present at a particular distance. These tubular filaments you remember are called as fimbriae. So here now we study about the fimbriae, tubular filamentous structure, and what is the function of fimbriae. So fimbriae you remember, mainly the function is important for fimbriae. So fimbriae you remember, they play significant role in adhesion of bacteria. That means whenever bacteria attached with any of the surface, so the bacteria get attached with the help of fimbriae. And the third extra outgrowth is present in bacterial cell, that is the bristle-like structures. We say small tubular filaments, but these tubular filaments are appear in the form of bristle-like structure. These bristle-like structures you remember called as pili. So here you remember What is pili? So pili are the Bristol-like structure. Secondly, what is the function of pili? So pili, you remember, mainly they are responsible for conjugation. आप study करते हैं, they play significant role in conjugation, or sometimes we study the sexuality in bacteria is mainly because of F plasmid, and for the transfer of F plasmid from F plus to F minus strain, conjugation bridge is required, and that conjugation bridge is formed by the pili. So simply you remember, for conjugation or for they participate in sexual reproduction. So this part you remember for the structure of outgrowth which are present at the external surface of the prokaryotic cell or bacterial cell. And in addition to that, gas vacuoles, जो component, structural component, one point we mentioned during the introductory class, that the structural component or inclusions. So inclusions means if the cell of blue-green algae is there, so cyanophycean granules are present as inclusions. Secondly, in bacteria, gas vacuoles are there, food granules are there. So all these are the different inclusions which are distributed in protoplasm. So this much structure you remember for the structure of prokaryotic cell. And when we discuss about this structure, so one important thing, none of the membrane bound cell organelle we discuss, because the membrane bound cell organelles are completely absent in bacteria. Secondly, you remember, the plasma membrane is the one and only membrane. That's why we say the prokaryotic cells only show the single membrane structure or single membrane system. Single membrane system means only the one end plasma membrane is there, none another membrane is present around the nucleus or around the cell organelle. So I hope whatever I explained for today's session आपको बहुत ज़्यादा helpful होगा, because most of the children are having doubt between the prokaryote and bacteria, eubacteria. So you not to be confused when we study about the prokaryote. So we study about bacteria or we study about the eubacterial cells. Okay. So for more updates and more illustrations, you stay connected with the channel. And secondly, the students who are new for today, they can go through the last two previous sessions of the cell and another sessions of the different topics from the class 11th biology. NEET aspirants will go for the class 12th biology session also. And by the new time, by the new session, stay motivated, work hard and be honest with your studies. Kindly subscribe my channel, like my videos, and if you again I am saying feel any difficulty, doubt, so feel free to ask and mention that those difficulty and doubts in comment box, and stay positive.